You know, I remember a time when a loaf of bread cost just a few coins and a trip to the grocery store didn't feel like a minor heart attack. It's funny how the little things we took for granted back then now come with price tags that make us raise our eyebrows or reach for our glasses to double check. If you found yourself shaking your head at the cost of everyday items lately, trust me, you're not alone. As we get older, something shifts. Our needs become clearer, and so do our priorities. Many of us are living on fixed incomes or simply trying to make our savings stretch further without feeling like we're pinching every single penny. And here's the good news. Being smart with your spending doesn't mean cutting out joy or sacrificing comfort. In fact, it often means doing less of the things that drain our wallets and more of the things that truly matter. So today, we're diving into some of the everyday things we often spend too much on without even realizing it, and how making a few small changes can make a big difference. We're not talking about making life harder, just a bit wiser. Sometimes, it's about spending smarter, not necessarily less. Let's start with something that sneaks up on many of us: cable TV and streaming services. Now, I know a lot of us grew up when television was 3 channels, rabbit ears, and a little bit of static. Today, there are hundreds of channels and more streaming platforms than I can count. And yet we often still say, there's nothing on. Sound familiar? Many folks are paying $100 or more every month just for television. And the truth is, we probably only watch a handful of channels or shows regularly. The rest just scroll on by. Here's what I recommend. Take a good look at what you actually watch. Are you mostly watching classic movies? Maybe there's a more affordable streaming service that focuses just on that. Prefer the local news and a few game shows? You might be able to get everything you need with an antenna or a basic internet package and still save $50 or more a month. Some streaming platforms even offer senior discounts, and many libraries, yes, libraries, give you free access to movies and TV shows through apps like Canopy or Hoopla. So instead of paying for 4 or 5 services, you might only need one. It's like trimming the tree. Cut off the extra branches, and you still have something beautiful. Now, let's talk about something that seems innocent at first: grocery shopping without a plan. Oh yes, it's a sneaky one. You go in for milk and eggs, and you come out with crackers, fancy cheese, 2 magazines, and that new sauce you saw on a cooking show. Happens to the best of us. But here's a little trick that's helped me and many others over the years: shop with intention. That means making a list and sticking to it. Try planning your meals for the week, even just loosely, and write down only what you need. You'll be amazed at how much less ends up in the cart and how much more ends up in your pocket. Another tip: shop the sales. Many stores have senior discount days. Don't be shy about asking when they are. And if you're open to it, store brand products often taste just as good as the name brands, and they cost less. The savings may seem small, but over a month, they really add up. Let me tell you, back when my kids were young and money was tight, I used to cut coupons from the Sunday paper like it was a sport. These days, you can find digital coupons right on your phone or your store's website. Ask a grandchild or neighbor to help you set it up once, and it'll pay off again and again. Here's another area where spending can quietly creep up: prescription medications. It's one of those unavoidable parts of aging for many of us, but that doesn't mean we have to take the prices at face value. You might be surprised at how many options are out there to help cut those costs. First, always ask your doctor if there's a generic version of your medication. Generics have the same ingredients and effects as brand names, but they cost significantly less. And don't be afraid to ask your pharmacist if there's a discount program. Many pharmacies offer loyalty cards or price matching, and some large chain stores have medications for as little as $4 or $5 for a 30-day supply. There are also prescription discount cards, some you can print right off the internet, that can lower the price even if you don't have insurance. GoodRx is one that comes up often, but there are others too. Again, a family member or friendly neighbor can help you compare prices and set things up if it feels a bit overwhelming. And here's a heartwarming little secret. Sometimes just talking to your pharmacist can go a long way. They know the system, they understand what's available, and more often than not, they genuinely want to help. All it takes is asking. See, we're just getting started, And already we're finding ways to ease the financial pressure without losing the things we enjoy or need. And there's still more to talk about: everyday habits, small switches, and new ways to think about old routines. All right, let's keep this going. Because when it comes to smart spending, every little change adds up to something big over time. And it's not about being cheap or denying ourselves. It's about being intentional, choosing what brings us value, and gently letting go of what doesn't serve us anymore. Now think about this one: subscriptions and memberships we've forgotten about. You ever open your bank statement and see a charge for something and think, what on earth is that? It's more common than you might think. These days, companies are really clever. You sign up for a free trial, maybe for a magazine, a fitness app, or a music service, and before you know it, it's been quietly renewing every month. I had a neighbor, sweet woman named Mrs. Davis, who found out she'd been paying for a meditation app for nearly 2 years without using it once. When her grandson helped her go through her account, she found a few other things too, like a subscription for a genealogy website she'd only logged into once. It happens. So here's something you can do that doesn't take long and could save you a decent chunk of change. Sit down and go through your bank and credit card statements, just for the past 2 or 3 months. Look for any charges that come back every month. If you don't recognize something, or if you're not using it, cancel it. Don't feel guilty about it. Think of it like spring cleaning for your wallet. And speaking of wallets, let's talk about something most of us still carry around every day: our cell phone plans. Now, I know some of you might still remember the days of rotary phones and party lines. The fact that we can now carry around a device in our pocket that lets us talk, text, take pictures, and look up just about anything. Well, that's still amazing, isn't it? But you know what's not amazing? Paying $70, $80, or even more each month for a phone plan you barely use. If you're like many folks, you probably don't need unlimited everything. You're not streaming YouTube for hours or making international calls to every corner of the globe. And yet, we often pay for plans designed for much younger, much more phone-addicted folks. Here's what you can do. Look into plans specifically designed for seniors. Companies like Consumer Cellular, TracFone, or even some of the big-name providers offer more affordable options with just the basics: calls, texts, and enough data for checking email or looking up a recipe. Some plans are as low as $15 to $30 a month. That's a big drop from those high-priced, unlimited plans. And if you're worried about switching or don't feel confident figuring it all out, don't worry. Customer service teams for these companies are often trained to be extra patient and helpful with senior customers. Plus, if you have a child, grandchild, or even a tech-savvy neighbor, ask them to help you compare options. You might be surprised at how easy it is and how much you could be saving month after month. Let's move from our phones to something even more personal: our homes. Not in a big, overwhelming way, but just in terms of everyday energy use. Have you ever looked at your electricity bill and wondered how it climbed so high when you barely did anything different? It's the small things that sneak up on us. Keeping lights on in empty rooms, using older appliances that guzzle energy, or letting the heater or air conditioner run full blast all day when you're only using 1 or 2 rooms. You don't have to sit in the dark or freeze yourself out just to save money. Just a few adjustments can make a real difference. Start with lighting. Switching from old light bulbs to energy-efficient LED ones can cut your electricity use without changing a thing about your habits. And they last much longer, too. You can also look into using power strips to turn off multiple devices at once, especially at night. A TV that's off but still plugged in, still using power. Same goes for microwaves, coffee makers, even phone chargers. And if your heating or cooling bills are high, consider a small space heater or fan just for the room you're in, rather than heating or cooling the whole house. It's a simple idea, but it can lead to real savings and more comfort, too. You see, it's all about being mindful, about how we spend, where our money goes, and what we truly need. These aren't just cost-cutting tips. They're tools to help us feel more in control, more confident, and more at peace with our finances. Let's keep going. We've still got a few more ideas to share, and you just might be surprised at how much more room you can create in your budget with no sacrifice, just a little bit of know-how. All right, let's keep that momentum going. Because the truth is, being wise with our money isn't just about cutting back. It's about living better, with less stress and more freedom to enjoy the things that really matter. Now let me ask you, how often do you eat out or grab takeout because it's just easier? Don't worry, you're not the only one. After all, we've worked hard for decades, raised families, run households, and cooked countless meals. Sometimes the thought of peeling one more potato or scrubbing another pan just makes you sigh. But here's where we need to be careful. Frequent dining out, even if it's just a sandwich or a quick bite, can quietly drain your budget faster than you think. Now, I'm not saying give it up completely. We all deserve a treat now and then. Sitting in your favorite booth with a hot cup of coffee or sharing a meal with a friend, that's not just food, that's nourishment for the soul. But if it's becoming a habit, if you're spending $10 here, $15 there, several times a week, it adds up. Over a month, that could be $150 or more that could have gone towards something else, like a family visit, a hobby, or even a weekend away. So what can you do? Well, how about a little shift in rhythm? Maybe instead of dining out 3 times a week, you treat yourself to once, and the other days, you plan something simple but satisfying at home. One-pan meals, slow cookers, or even prepped freezer meals can make home cooking easier. And if you're cooking just for 1 or 2, think about making extra to freeze for later. That way, you're giving your future self a night off and saving money while you're at it. Another idea that's caught on lately is forming a little meal swap with friends or neighbors. You cook something one day, they cook another, and you trade. It brings variety without the work and builds community along the way. And speaking of community, let's chat about transportation costs, especially when it comes to owning and maintaining a car. A lot of folks hang on to their vehicles out of habit or a sense of independence, and I understand that completely. But owning a car comes with regular expenses, insurance, gas, maintenance, and unexpected repairs that always seem to pop up at the worst time. If you're still driving regularly and you enjoy it, that's great. But ask yourself honestly, how often do you really need to drive? If your car mostly sits in the driveway, there might be more cost-effective ways to get around. Public transit, senior shuttle programs, or ride-sharing apps like Uber or Lyft. These can all be useful alternatives, especially if your driving has decreased. Many cities offer discounted or even free rides for seniors to places like medical appointments, grocery stores, and community centers. And if you do still drive but your insurance costs feel high, take some time to shop around. Some companies offer low-mileage discounts or special senior plans, especially if you've got a clean driving record. You might also look into switching to a more fuel-efficient car, or if you're no longer driving at all, consider selling your car. The extra cash and the savings each month could go a long way. Now, let's turn to something that doesn't come with a receipt but still costs us dearly: impulse buying. You know how it goes. You're watching TV and a commercial pops up showing a shiny new gadget that slices, dices, and practically sings to you while it does it. Or you're scrolling online and suddenly there's a pop-up ad saying, "Only 3 left. Buy now." That kind of marketing is designed to create a sense of urgency, to make us feel like we're missing out if we don't jump on it. But most of the time, those purchases end up sitting in a drawer, gathering dust. The next time something catches your eye, give yourself a rule: wait 24 hours. If you still want it the next day, and it fits comfortably in your budget, go for it. But more often than not, you'll find the urge passes, and the money stays where it belongs. And here's a little trick: create a wish list. Not everything you like needs to be bought right away. Jot it down, think on it, maybe even look for a second-hand version or a discount later. That way, you still honor your interest, but you stay in control of your choices. You see, this journey of smart spending isn't about being perfect. It's about being present. A little awareness here, a little adjustment there, and suddenly you're not just saving money, you're gaining peace of mind. And isn't that worth more than anything? Let's keep going, because there's still more we can do to make our money stretch without stretching ourselves too thin. The best part? You're already doing the hardest part: paying attention. And that attention, that quiet, thoughtful awareness, is exactly what turns small changes into lasting peace. You're not just watching numbers on a page or trimming a budget. You're choosing how to live with more purpose, more clarity, and yes, more freedom. Now, one area that often slips under the radar, especially for those of us who were raised to be generous and giving, is gift giving. It's something we do with love, birthdays, holidays, new babies, graduations. Many of us find joy in giving, and rightly so. But if we're being honest, it's easy to get carried away, especially with grandchildren, nieces, nephews, or close friends. We think, oh, I'll just get this one extra toy, or they'd love this little something. Before we know it, what was meant to be a thoughtful gesture turns into a shopping spree, and the receipt shows it. But here's the thing. Your time, your presence, your stories, your attention, those are the gifts that really matter. Especially now, kids may not remember every single item they were given, but they'll remember baking cookies with grandma, fishing with grandpa, sitting on the porch, hearing old family tales. Those are the gifts that stay with them forever. So if you feel like you have to buy something to show you care, pause. Think about what you might give from the heart instead. Maybe you write them a letter sharing something special from your childhood. Maybe you make a scrapbook of family photos or record a short video of you telling your favorite joke or memory. These kinds of gifts are priceless, and they don't cost a thing. And for those times when a physical gift is appropriate, consider setting a limit ahead of time, both financially and emotionally. Handmade crafts, small thoughtful items, or even passing down something sentimental from your own collection. These can be just as meaningful as anything store-bought, often more so. And now, as we begin to wrap this up, let's talk about the one area where a lot of us were taught to always spend freely: charity and donations. Giving to others is a beautiful thing. Many of us were raised to tithe at church, support causes, and help anyone in need. And that's something to be proud of. But in today's world, where donation requests arrive by mail, phone, email, even text message, it's easy to feel pulled in 100 directions. And unfortunately, not every request is as honest or impactful as it seems. That's why it's so important to be intentional about your giving. Instead of saying yes to every request that comes your way, choose one or two causes that really matter to you. Maybe it's your local food bank, a veterans group, or your place of worship, and focus your support there. You'll not only know where your money is going, but you'll feel more connected to the difference you're making. And don't forget, your time is a powerful gift too. If you enjoy being involved, volunteering even just a few hours a month can be deeply fulfilling and doesn't cost a dime. Whether it's reading at the library, helping at the church pantry, or checking in on a neighbor, these acts of kindness are a form of generosity that stretches far beyond any dollar amount. So, let's take a deep breath and look at where we've arrived together. We've talked about small but powerful ways to ease the pressure, to slow the outflow of money without slowing down our joy. And through it all, the message is simple: you're not alone in this. You're part of a generation that knows how to adapt, how to make the most of what you have, and how to turn even a modest life into something truly rich. Now I'd love to hear from you. Have you found little ways to save that made a big difference? What's your favorite tip or habit that helps stretch your dollars? Share it in the comments below. You never know who you might help by simply telling your story. And if this video brought you value or made you smile, go ahead and give it a like. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next. Thanks so much for spending this time with me today. Keep looking forward, keep smiling, and remember, you're never too old to feel young again.